What is the ultimate fate of the universe? Will the Earth still exist 1,000 years later due to the updating and rapid development of languages? No sentence from any country will remain intact 2,000 years later. Due to the reversal of the Earth's magnetic field, solar radiation will reach the surface directly, causing airplanes and subways to lose control instantly. The entire transportation system will gradually collapse. 5,000 years later, the global average temperature will rise by 8 degrees Celsius. The polar ice caps will completely melt, raising sea levels by 6 meters. Coastal cities will suffer severe tsunami attacks. 10,000 years later, a supernova will erupt in late autumn, and the electromagnetic radiation produced during the explosion will illuminate the entire Milky Way. 20,000 years later, Voyager 1, drifting in space, will finally reach the vicinity of the next star. 50,000 years later, affected by the gradually rising global temperature, the Amazon River will gradually dry up, and even Niagara Falls will completely disappear. 100,000 years later, the Ice Age on Earth will end, and temperatures will rapidly decrease globally. The Ice Age returns. 300,000 years later, meteorites from the depths of the universe collide with Earth, causing severe damage to the Earth's crust, and supervolcanoes erupt. 500,000 years later, the stars in the sky will appear completely different from now. This is because the solar system has been revolving around the Milky Way since its formation. 1 million years later, the first human footprint on the moon will completely disappear, and almost all structures on Earth will have weathered away, such as the Great Pyramid of Giza, or large stone structures like Mount Rushmore may still potentially exist. 5 million years later, if humans still exist, the Y chromosome's continuous degradation might lead to the complete disappearance of males. 10 million years later, a gamma ray burst occurs in the universe, and the highly destructive rays will reach the Earth's surface, leading to the eventual extinction of the remaining life on Earth. 50 million years later, Phobos, the moon of Mars, will break up into a Martian ring, while the rings of Saturn will disappear completely. 100 million years later, an asteroid from the depths of the universe collides with Earth, and the continents begin to shift, creating a brand new supercontinent. 500 million years later, Antarctica disappears completely. Sea levels rise by 75 meters. Africa merges with Eurasia and gets compressed, creating a mountain range equivalent to the Himalayas. 3 billion years later, due to the continuous expansion of the sun's volume and increasing brightness, photosynthesis will completely disappear, and surviving plants on the planet will die off one by one. All oceans evaporate. Surface temperatures soar to as high as 147 degrees Celsius, turning the entire planet into a fiery inferno. 5 billion years later, the sun begins its journey into old age, expanding to a size 200 times its current size, eventually engulfing Mercury, Venus, and Earth mercilessly. 12 billion years later, the sun exhausts all its heat, gradually turning into a white dwarf emitting its last glow, its remnants slowly cooling in the universe, and eventually disappearing as time goes by. Trillions of years later, stellar bodies like the sun in the universe will eventually burn out completely and die out one after another. The universe is filled with the remnants of countless stars. 200 trillion years later, the last star dies. Its afterglow is the only light in a universe dotted with black holes. As time passes, only the existence of black holes remains in the universe, and the universe finally enters eternal darkness, according to scientists' speculations. After 10,100 years, the last black hole in the universe will also completely disappear, and only photons will remain in the universe. As the universe expands, photons will gradually cool towards absolute zero. When the last photon vanishes, everything in the universe will reach the same temperature, and the story of the universe also comes to an end. This is the first time, since its birth, that the universe has entered a state of nothingness. Even Tripitaka finally stops his journey, as the universe reaches the end of chaos. And at this moment, time loses its meaning. Nothing will happen forever. This makes us can't help but sigh that humans may indeed be mere passers-by in the universe. All the fame and fortune, the struggles and accomplishments of our lives, after rising to the heights of the universe, everything seems to have found peace. I am the captain. I have always been here,